about moving the party to YouTube if there's any problems.
Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday, Thursday, April, August. I am your lovely co-host, Ben Nolen Rimalower, celebrating the birthday today of the greatest man in America, Daniel Nolen.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And hey, y'all, happy my birthday and happy Thursday, because live from New York, it's Thursday morning.
Tuesday, Thursday, April, August.
Time heals everything. It's a song. Time heals everything.
Now, I just want to tell everybody that we had a little bit of a difficulty on Tuesday, which I went to see why we didn't get more comments or anything after we were done. And a lot of our live traffic is not on the YouTube page where the videos live forever, or the Broadway Podcast Network YouTube page. A lot of it has been on the BroadwayWorld Facebook page.
Yes.
And I went there and we had no views, and the video was not there. And then all the links from BroadwayWorld were disconnected. And I checked with Daniel, but because he's a big fancy BroadwayWorld Facebook administrator, he kept seeing the video. So he's like, no, there's no problem. Did you try a different browser? I'm like, so, but there was no video. And I asked trusted friends. So I was convinced that because I'd gotten on my little high horse and been going off, I told Barbara Streisand to suck Mike Bloomberg's dick. I was like, was that what got me banned? Does BroadwayWorld have a problem with that? Or then there was that part where I was so mad at all the producers who didn't transfer A Strange Loop immediately to Broadway, where I was like, you suck. I was literally like, hey, Broadway producers, you suck, which, probably not the smartest thing you
I don't know if you know who Scott Rudin is.
Exactly. So I was like, that's what happened. Probably BroadwayWorld can't afford to risk that with their advertisers, and they nixed us. But then our peeps at BroadwayWorld were like, what? Huh, girl, nobody watches you. We don't know what shit you talking about. So we were like, what happened? But I was like, we got banned, we're controversial. And it turns out it was just because we used a clip from a Sony Music thing that it got tracked on Facebook. So we don't know if we're going to keep running into those kinds of problems with our Who Do You Think You Are segment. But if we do, since it was not a problem on the YouTube, if there's anybody who's watching us on BroadwayWorld Facebook and we suddenly cut out, just go to the Broadway Podcast Network YouTube page and you'll find us.
Yes.
That said, we're still going to start with the all beef patty so that we get more into the broadcast before we do sorts of problems. But before all that, let's just begin by celebrating the birthday of this man, right? If I point the way that you are, it's not going to go the right way.
Yeah.
This man right here.
Thank you. We have some, thank you, Knox Lee and Ashley Lady Grantham. Thank you. The only people I know I share my B-Day with are Gary Cooper, very mask for mask, as am I, and then Thelma Houston, disco lady singer.
Birthday share.
Yeah. So anyway, but thank you. Should we go right into our all beef patty?
Yes, but let's just say one more thing is that all the fans who are watching, both of you, please start getting those Dolly concert kills ready. It's with the digital delay, when we ask for them at the end, then it's too late. So they're coming, so be ready.
Yeah, we're going to have a big segment at the end for the Dolly concert kills because that seemed to be successful last time. Okay, let's get into all beef patty.
I hardly know the woman.
Well, ladies and germs, my all beef patty today is with Patty herself.
Oh!
And it's about being alive, because we talked about it on the Broken Records podcast this week, where we did the Sondheim celebration at Carnegie Hall, where Patty sang, I think, not only the most thrilling version of Being Alive that ever got sung, but, one of her most thrilling performances ever, and I think one of the most thrilling performances by anyone ever.
Yes.
And I have been fighting for that being alive, through the muck and mire of the people saying to me things about Judy Kay or Liz Calloway or or when Bernadette comes out with her, I won't get into it. But there's just and of course all the wonderful men that have sung the song. Of course there are many wonderful versions of Being Alive, but that Patty one to me just negates all versions of Being Alive. I really, truly, I just would be fine with nobody ever singing that song, to the point where when I did my top 10 Sondheim songs for Playbill, I didn't even include Being Alive. And literally everyone was like, no Being Alive? I don't know. To me, it's like I have no use for that song after that version.
Well, I have to interject. My use for that song is karaoke because it sits really well in my voice usually. But the problem is at all karaoke bars, the track they have is the fucking Barbra Streisand track. And it's like way too low. And it's just like a horrible arrangement.
We have opposite problems because I'm happy that it's the Barbara version and not the real key that the men sing it in. Because I got no A flat. But when you're a Barbara and your money notes like a D, I'm ready for that. That's my
right, the sweet spot.
Thank you. But that fucking arrangement that Barbara has, that should be a Who Do You Think You Are? But although I will say when she did it live in Brooklyn, thank you, fuck yeah, Lupone. When she did it live, it made a little more sense to me. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But the thing is, not only does Patty's Being Alive at Carnegie Hall negate Bernadette and Judy Kay and everybody for me, it actually negates Patty for me. And I remember being so thrilled by that performance at Being Alive. And then I saw Patty at the Westwood Playhouse in Los Angeles in 1993 at what was recorded as her first album, Patti LuPone Live. And the first act closed with Being Alive. And, it's very thrilling for an audience to see her do that song live. And the audience was thrilled. And I think in the moment I was just like, oh my God, she's singing Being Alive, and it was like big and belt and all that shit. But then when the album came out, I remember feeling like, I get that it's a live recording of this concert and the song worked in the concert, but I'm never going to listen to this track. Why would I ever want to hear her sing Being Alive? Instead of Paul Gemignani and the Broadway, the American Theater Orchestra, how about instead, Johnny McD and the slickest 11 pieces, LA theater can buy. And, and just Patty you can just even tell, even in 1993, it's enough gays. We're okay, Patty, that part where you don't take a breath and you go straight into somebody crown me with love. Oh my God. And the straight tone to the vibrato. And you just hear the little gay men in Patty's head telling her what to do. And it feels like a little bit through the motions.
You're literally quoting everything I said in the podcast.
Well, me too. And literally everybody that I know and love for the last, almost 30 years.
Right.
That stuff's not good for her. And I'm not talking about her ego. I'm all about, let's just, how I don't want to plump up Judy Kay or Vicki Clark, plump Patty up. The more she strides in and is fuck you all, I'm the greatest.
On that elephant, honey.
The better she is. That's what I come to her for, but I don't want her having specifics. I want her to do it organically. And I feel like it really got in the way. And over the years, I've seen her do Being Alive many, 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 many times. And most often I would feel that way where it was, and honestly, even when Patty went into it and was just I'm an artist, I am in this zone, I'm taking the journey organically in the moment, I still was that gay guy sitting there being yeah, but when the straight tone came, it's it went to the vibrato too soon. And the orchestra wasn't at the part where I want that to happen yet, And it's what is she? She's not making me an ice cream cone. And I'm no, the rainbow sprinkles have to go in the middle. She's an artist, but it doesn't work for me. I want that fucking cone I had that one time.
Yeah.
I get so annoyed over the years because Patty has had, relatively few video appearances. I mean, it's a little different now in the era of like YouTube and everything because it's like all collectible. But like back when I like had these VHS tapes and I was like, thank God she's singing at the White House. Maybe she'll do Meadowlark.
Yeah.
She didn't. Thank God she's singing with Yo-Yo Ma and the Boston Pops. Maybe she'll do Meadowlark. But she didn't. But you know what song she just kept singing on PBS again and 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 again. And she made me confused.
Well, this is going to confuse you as well. We have a controversial take from Frank.
Bring it on.
Patty was the only bright spot at that Carnegie Hall concert. I was there, and even Liza was not good. Oh,
Carabineris. I don't know who you are. I don't know who your people are. Like, really, Patty was the only bright spot. Like, let's not get into Liza. Like, I think Liza was brilliant. I think you're wrong and terrible, but that's your business. But surely you'll agree that, like, the Sweeney Todd suite performed by the orchestra was wonderful. I mean, if you don't like anything else in that concert besides Patty, what do you like?
Dottie Loudon. I mean, Glenn.
I mean, just like a dumb shit, like pop opera, like dotard that like you like Patty because of like Evita and Sunset Boulevard and like Les Mis, but like you get bored by Sondheim songs.
All right. Let's not shame the viewers.
I want him to comment again. Like seriously, like what do you like? Thank you, Aaron Weinstein. Aaron Weinstein. I love that guy so much. He's so smart and talented and handsome.
Okay, so that is, so Patty's being alive more often than not you don't care for, but did she redeem herself with the Carnegie Hall? I mean,
no, Carnegie was the first.
Okay, so did she negate that with her subsequent disappointing versions?
I mean, never negate that, but that negated every other Being Alive she'll do. I will say it's kind of like a sad story, but I mean, it's not sad, but I swear I'm a big fan of her album and her one-woman show Matters of the Heart from 2000. And I've seen it on stage many times, including when she did it on Broadway at the Vivian Beaumont. And she hadn't been doing it for years. She has her different one-woman shows that she tours and stuff, but she does, if she's been to a certain venue doing one show, then she'll go back there and do the next. So she's always doing sort of like a schedule of like a bunch of different one-woman shows at the same time. But eventually the old ones fall out of the rotation because everywhere she's getting booked, she's already done it, or maybe she gets tired, or I don't know. But Matters of the Heart eventually fell off the rotation. But in 2012-ish, I saw she was doing it at the Kennedy Center, and I hadn't seen her do it in, I don't know, like 9 years or 8 years or something. And I was so excited. So I went to see her and she had a terrible cold. And that's a lot of like, it's a very head voice, beautiful, the songs are not crazy high, but they sit up there. And they sat up there for her in very, very comfortable keys when she recorded that album when she was like 48 or something, but this was many years later. And she had a cold, and she had said that she had a cold and she was worried about it. And so all through the first act, it was like real challenging. It was actually really wonderful to watch her work because you could really see her technique. It wasn't just like when I saw her do it years before on the road and she'd be like, listen to me. And she really had to work, and you could just see her like using that Joan Lader technique. Finding the placement, floating it up, mix, blah, blah, blah. And it was really great. But obviously it was like, as far as the effect of it was lesser than it had been many times. Right. But the end of the first act was Being Alive. And she was so humbled by that cold and what vocal problems she was having. All through the first act, it was all in the mix, all in the mask, all careful. I mean, I don't think, Patty has never had to work hard for her voice like that. It was like what everybody goes through. But by the time she got to Being Alive, she had just put all that moisture and honey, activity, like all right there. And she got into Being Alive and she sang it like Pavarotti. I'm telling you, she was like, it wasn't the Carnegie Hall thing, it was something else, but it was muscular. Where'd you go?
Muscular. I love that. Well, speaking of muscular, should we go to our next segment? Who do you think you are? Hopefully we understand.
I hope if we get cut off for you, that's because you're on Facebook. So please switch over to Broadway Podcast Network on YouTube.
On the YouTube.
Who do you think you are? Go.
Well, my Who Do You Think You Are today is Shirley Bassey singing Starlight Express. I wonder if Frank Carabineris will enjoy this because it is from I think maybe in some ways the epitome, or at least the apex of the pop opera moment. Angela Weber's 1987 Broadway show. And Shirley did this in the 90s on her Angela Weber album, but I only recently found this live performance. And I just have to say that I'm obsessed with this song. I mean, Starlight Express is such a weird show. Like, I saw it on tour in LA in 1989, and I was already old enough and smart enough to be like, this show is totally crazy bullshit. I can't believe it exists. I mean, it's just like taking Cats and making it about trains, but like without the like, you know, T.S. Eliot, like strict so, you know, I always sort of dismissed it, but later in life, I got really obsessed with Laurie Beachman's recording of the title song, Starlight Express. And it's about nothing other than just like that Andrew Lloyd Webber groove and Laurie Beachman just like belting. I mean, she's not even pretending that those words make any sense. Are you real? Yes or no? You know, but I can't get enough of it. And I also got really into like Andrea McArdle's recording of it. And also I found that there was never a Broadway cast album of Starlight Express, but before the show came to Broadway, there was a concept album with, as Liza Minnelli would say, regular singers. And I get really sad when you lean over there.
Sorry, my cat. I need to like...
Anyway, so El DeBarge, as in like, feel the beat of the rhythm of the night.
Oh yeah, Drag Race.
Sang Starlight Express on the Starlight Express like pop concept album, and I'm obsessed with it. So this Shirley Bassey recording, I'm also obsessed with, but it's so crazy. I'm like, does she think she's Molly Pope? Like, since when does Shirley Bassey do something so like conceptual and like weird and like downtown Joe's Pubby? It's literally like a jazz version of Starlight Express, which is a song that makes no sense to begin with. So now it makes triple no sense. Let's watch it.
All right, let's take a look.
You get the feeling that sleep is gonna stay away tonight. That's when you hear it coming. That's when you hear the humming of the midnight train. Here again, can't explain that midnight train, that midnight train. Starlight Express, you must confess, are you real? Yes or no?
I mean,
oh my God.
So like once she gets to the chorus, it's pretty much just like the Shirley Bassey version of Starlight Express.
Right.
Versus, it's like not even like the actual melody. Like it's when you have good nights. I mean, it's like such like a style choice. Like,
yeah, totally.
Choice. I mean, it's literally like Molly Pope does that with like I Dreamed a Dream, and you're like, that's what we came here for, you know?
Yeah.
I just don't know in what world Shirley Bassey did this like for a lark. And I can't believe it exists. It's real though. I didn't imagine that. Shirley Bassey's Starlight Express. Are you real?
Yes or no? She's wearing that like Liz Taylor 90s wig. I love it.
Always flawless. I mean, I know she's like a terrible person, but I just want to eat her up.
Is she a terrible person?
I feel like she's like a less nice Joan Collins.
Oh my.
There's all these weird like interviews with her where she's just like hostile to the person.
Ooh. Did Maya Rudolph ever do her?
Can we like do a GoFundMe to make her do it?
I mean, like watching that video, I was like, I need Maya Rudolph to like.
But it's almost like already Maya Rudolph doing her. You know?
Yeah, totally. You know, hearing Shirley Bassey's voice, which is already so distinctive, it really is like a sense memory for me, and it really transports me back to like the Fire Island beach or like by the pool with you, because we listened to a lot of Shirley Bassey then. And yeah, it just like really takes me to that summer place.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember being like at like gay clubs, like dancing in San Francisco in the 90s, and just, you know, tuning out the endless drone of like, and I miss you. Like the deserts miss the deserts miss the deserts miss the, and then all of a sudden just hearing like this voice, you know, and she was singing like she had this 90s like dance club hit. It was like a little bit of history repeating itself. Like I guess I must have known her from like Goldfinger and stuff, but I didn't even know her name. But I just remember like dropping everything, you know, and just being like, what? I need her. I want all of her.
Yes, I agree. I don't know if this is this
Aaron Weinstein, not a fan of Shirley Bassey's Starlight Express. Well, that's fine. It's not for everybody. Aaron, what do you even like?
What do you like? I love it. So should we go into Dolly Concert Kill?
Have we gotten any? I mean, it's not really a self-starter.
Well, yeah, keep submitting your Dolly Concert Kills because that's the next section.
I mean, Daniel, what are you doing for your birthday besides recording this moment with me?
You know, I haven't, nothing. I mean, I was about to say I haven't decided, but I have decided I'm not doing anything. I mean, friends were like, do we want to have a birthday Zoom? Do we want to have like a karaoke birthday Zoom where we all sing? I'm like, I don't really. That seems like a lot of, you know, stress and kind of things to put together. So I think, you know, maybe I'll Zoom with like a couple of friends, like individually.
No invitation received.
But you know, it's I don't know, putting together a big Zoom party with friends who don't know each other, it's kind of overwhelming. So
I will say I went to a friend's Zoom 40th birthday last week. I think she's open about her age. It was Rachel Schukert's birthday. And I was getting a little tired of like the Zoom parties and everything, and I wasn't looking forward to it. But like Rachel and I are tight. It was definitely like a command.
A thing.
Friends, you know. But I was so happy I was there. It was so much fun. And I think maybe because it was the 40th, so it was special. Like our friend Michael that hosted it, he like had people like do these little like prepared sort of like toasts to her. And it gave it structure. I think that's part of the problem with Zoom parties sometimes is this awkwardness of like, just like, you know, it can be hard enough to be at a party and like whose turn is it to talk, but usually you just talk over each other and like the loudest person wins, or you break up into small groups, but you can't do that on Zoom, you know?
Yeah, it's like the mics and the sound.
There's just chaos and it falls apart immediately, or it's just boring and weird and slow and like never gets a rhythm. But this is rich structure. It's like, it's Michael's toast, it's Jesse's toast, it's her mama's toast, you know? Yeah. And camera at the hairline. Oh yeah, exactly. Wait, is she criticizing me or is she saying that that's what? Anyway. Oh look, we're getting some Dolly Concert Kills.
Should we go to that our final segment?
Yeah, baby.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
First,
birthday girl.
Oh God. Okay, here we go. Charles Whitner, Ryan Murphy, a dish. Matt Bomber, Darren Criss, and Cheyenne Jackson. Okay.
This is more like a Mary fuck kill.
Well, we can do that too. I mean, for me, I would have to say Cheyenne as Dolly, Matt Bomber in concert / just like a striptease act for me alone. Darren Criss kill.
I guess that's the only way to do this. But I don't have a better alternative. Is killing oneself an option? I think it's not. I think it's really you're forced.
Okay, the next one is Mitch Strong. Hey, Mitch.
Mitch.
Ruthie Henschel, Emily Skinner, and Shoshana Bean. Ooh, this is interesting, especially in the context of your your Ruthie bit that you did last time.
That wasn't a bit. That was a beat.
Oh, this is really hard. I mean, why don't you take this one first?
I mean, look, of course I'm curious what Shoshana Bean would do in the Streisand keys. And like, Ruthie Henschel, I can't quit you. She could take a dump all over my face. I'd be
My.
more prepared, Like, but Emily Skinner's been auditioning to play Dolly Levi for her whole career. If we don't give it to her, then there truly is no justice.
Right.
So I think she gets it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I know I'm a glutton for punishment. I could go see Shoshana Bean, and I know it would be the greatest thing in the world. And Ruthie Henschel, there's a great chance she'll disappoint, but none. I want that pain. I want that Ruthie concert. I want her to show me what she can and can't do.
Yes, and we will have the receipts. I have to see, Emily is Dolly, and then I would have to see Show in a show, and then sorry, Ruthie. Okay. Cool. Wait, what's this? Do we know what this do we know what this comment means? Do we figure this out?
I thought it was maybe. Oh, she was just complimenting us. I get it, Claire. I thought she was saying, boys, camera at the hairline. But she was actually saying, camera at the hairline. It's perfect.
I love it. Is that a thing? Camera at the hairline?
Apparently. I don't even know where a camera is.
Okay, well, what else? Okay, well, we're waiting for other DCKs to roll in.
Yeah. Well, I have been back on the Seth Rudetsky train a little bit.
Okay, back on that train.
Back on that train. Oh, this is what I have to tell you. I have been back on the Seth Rudetsky, and I watched the City of Angels reunion, and it was fabulous. But which, by the way, I'm really curious. Did you see Rachel York with me at Green Room 42? Did we see that?
I don't believe so.
I'm going to watch her because she sings "Piece of Sky" from Yentl, and
I did see that because people on the Twitter were like, "Oh, that's why Barbara's suddenly deciding to like release this big video is because she's pissed that Rachel York sang "Piece of Sky."
I don't think Barbara even knows that Patty did Gypsy on Broadway, let alone that Rachel York did "Piece of Sky" on Stars in the House.
Probably, but I don't know. I think Barbara has more receipts than we know.
True that. Okay, but this is what I've been dying to talk to you about. So I finally sat down because I told you that I'm like getting back in the mode of watching regular TV, not just Lefty and Cheers. Yes. And so I finally did Better Call Saul, the new season, which was
I have to watch.
It's so good. My favorite season yet, right?
Wow.
And I was so sad that it was over that last night I was like, I want to watch more. So I decided, I'm going to go back and rewatch Breaking Bad.
Oh, good idea.
I went back to the beginning of Breaking Bad, and I started to think that Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, in a weird way, they're kind of like Sweeney Todd and Mrs. Lovett. Like,
interesting, yeah.
It's not sexual, but their banter and their like shtick and their like little. It was so Sweeney and Mrs. Lovett to me.
Yeah,
I'm kind of like I almost want Jesse, what's his name, Aaron Paul, to like play Mrs. Lovett or like Dolly Levi. I feel like he has that little like. You could say it was good luck for her. Almost.
Yeah, I mean, it is very like Jesse. He's so like I don't know what's the word. Like he's so like rough in that show. He's like such like a druggie and like a dangerous criminal kid. It's like the Albuquerque or wherever they live version of like Cockney, or like a street urchin.
I want to do like a production of Sweeney Todd that like is set in Breaking Bad.
Jesse would also be, or Aaron Paul, what's his name? Aaron Paul, right?
Yeah.
He would be.
It's not your fault. He needs like a last name that doesn't. Aaron Paul is not.
Yeah. He would also be a good Fagin.
It's weird. I actually don't know Oliver that well.
I just know the movie.
I don't think I've ever gotten through the whole movie, and I've never seen the show.
Oh, I've watched the movie a lot as a kid, I remember, but
it won Best Picture. It's like a real movie.
Wow. And also Bryan Cranston would also be a good Sweeney if he can sing.
Even if he can't, I mean, like, there have been worse actors playing parts they can't sing, like Glenn Close in Sunset Boulevard. But anyway, there's a new one. Judi Dench.
Oh, this is a good one. This is a really good one.
Yeah. Captain Meryl Streep. Fabulous challenge, Claire.
Yeah. Kudos, Claire. This is This is actually easy. I want to see Meryl as Dolly. I want to see Judy in concert kill CZJ.
Interesting.
I want Judy in like at like Joe's Pub or like a cabaret, like, you know, drinky, small, intimate setting, and then Meryl, of course, just being the star she is.
My answer is not going to be popular, I'm afraid. My first choice Dolly of those three ladies, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, she would definitely sing it best.
I mean, I don't give a shit about her voice. Like, to me, at best, she sings like, you know, D. Hody. Like, no, not even. I'm so sorry, D. Hody fans. But you know what I mean? To me, she has like a very, like, you know, either good or very good or like sort of good, but it's just like an undistinctive, like generic Broadway, like belt voice, you know? Yeah. But I like her as like a scheming, like, you know, kind of like
busybody,
you know. I think it's what made her good in Chicago. I really liked her in Chicago.
She's really good.
And I think it's what made her bad in Night Music was that she was a little, you know, even though I don't like when they don't give you the like next year, I also I don't want them to be like maybe no. It can't be like your musical theater moment. It should
be your money note. All right, we're going over, so we have.
I really want Meryl in concert. I want Meryl to be forced. You don't get to invite Christine Baranski and Audra McDonald, Meryl.
Yeah, you have
to do it.
Do live.
I want the whole full, you know, 80 minutes. Make it happen. And
make it happen.
Ask me to write and direct. And obviously I worship her, but you know.
The Winner Takes It All could be her big encore number.
Any piece she wants. I will not be gay about it.
Cool. With that said, thank you guys for listening. And
I said thank you.
Yes, thank you. And make sure to like and subscribe, all that. Listen to our podcast. Goodbye.
Tuesday, Thursday, April, August.
Time heals everything. It's a song. Time heals everything.